All right, so this is going to be a video about thinking about problems and solutions pragmatically. I'm going to use a couple of highly contentious, divisive issues to outline this, where my view doesn't really fall on either side of the issues as the media would present them to you, because I'm thinking about them in a realistic way. I'm going to look at gun control and cops, and these two issues tie very closely together. So let's get started. So, gun control. Am I for more gun control or am I pro-guns? Well, honestly, I'm pro-guns. Now, what did that just say in your mind? Did you just go, oh, you must be some right-wing retard? No, I'm a liberal. Oh, you must own a bunch of guns. You live in the South. You must be you must own a bunch of guns. You must know a bunch of people who own guns. You must be a gun nut. You must love guns. You must walk around Walmart with an assault rifle across your chest. No, I don't own a gun. I know a few people who owns the guns because, yes, I live in the South. But I don't know, I've done none of those things. Oh, you must be a heartless bastard who doesn't care about school shootings or mass shootings or any of this shit. Well, actually, yes, I do care. So let's start on that issue first. Mass shootings. How many of these mass shootings were caused by people who owned the guns that they used? Well, obviously, at the least in case of the school shootings, but in a lot of these shootings, no. They took these guns from a relative or a friend. So if you pass all these really strict gun control stuff, you're only going to affect the people who are law-abiding and weren't causing a problem in the first place. Meanwhile, the criminals will continue to do as the criminals do. Because it's just like the whole feminist thing. Well, teach men not to rape. You think rapists don't know that rape is wrong? You don't think they don't know that rape is a crime? You go to jail for at least 4 years for rape. You think they don't know that? You think they care? You think criminals fucking care? You think laws affect criminals? They don't. I've been completely honest with you guys, my whole YouTube career. Do I live in a real nice neighborhood right now? Am I middle class right now? Hell yeah, I am. Has it always been so? No. I come from a place where people get shot all the time. And I know people who've been brutally stabbed because a lot of the time, where I'm from, the gangs don't carry guns because the cops are always cracking down. They kill people with shit like machetes or big fucking knives, or they beat them to death with flashlights, big ass fucking D-cell battery fucking flashlights, because there's a lot of biker gangs in Colorado. So, self-defense, it makes sense. If people are robbing you or trying to kill you or anything like that, in America, you're going to be dealing with people who have guns. And I believe if you're in a place where you should really worry about your personal safety, how else are you going to defend yourself? I know from personal experience how long it takes cops to show up. And I lived in areas where the cops showed up pretty damn quick compared to the rest of the country. And I didn't live in the roughest fucking neighborhood in the world. No, I fucking didn't. I lived in a rough neighborhood, but not the rough neighborhood. It takes cops between 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes to show up. If your life is in immediate danger, what are you going to do? What can you do? Well, in this country, you can own and know how to use a firearm. You hear all the time about cops shooting people. And what a lot of times you don't hear about is those guys were armed. Okay? Because now we're shifting over to the cops thing. Because cops is another contentious issue where you got to look at things realistically. Cops shoot way more than just black people. If you're all Black Lives Matter, well, then you're not hearing about that white people get shot more than cops, whether they're armed or unarmed. A lot of times when cops are shooting somebody and Black Lives Matter is throwing a fit over that specific person, a lot of times the dude was shooting at the cops or had just shot somebody or had just tried to kill somebody or were trying to attack the cops. The cops got to defend themselves just like you do. Okay? Do I trust cops? No. Do I like cops? No. Is getting shot by a cop something I'm worried about? No, I'm more worried about a cop stealing from me. Here's another pragmatist thing, being anti-cop. What am I worried about? A civil asset forfeiture. You ever heard this question? And I have, and a lot of people have. If you haven't, maybe it's not a place where they do it. It's called civil asset forfeiture. They'll ask you a question at a traffic stop or something like, are there any weapons, firearms, drugs, or large sums of money in the car? Why did they ask that last one? First of all, the answer to this question is no. And they'll say something like, may I search your vehicle? The answer to this question is no. What if you have nothing? None of those things in your car? Well, unless you're in a hurry to get somewhere, because saying no to this question may tie up some of your time, the answer is no. Okay? But when it comes to that last thing, because they'll say, oh, we'll call a drug dog. Well, if you don't have any drugs, the answer is no. They'll bring a drug dog. Nothing will happen to you. You'll waste the fucking cop's time, and maybe he'll think twice about trying that again. But the money thing, the thing is, due to certain RICO statutes, the sort of things they use to target organized crime and gangs, if you have a large sum of money in your car, they'll go, well, you're going to go use this to buy drugs, or you're a drug dealer and you made all this money buying drugs, and we're just going to seize this. And it's up to you to go to court and to prove that you should have that money that's yours, and prove that you're not a drug dealer, or prove that you're not you're not a pimp or running a fucking illegal gambling thing or something like that. And if you can't, well, they keep your money. And a lot of these fucking police stations are still keeping the lights on due to civil asset forfeitures. You might sell a dime bag of weed, a $10 bag of weed out of your house, and they can say, oh, your house is a fucking drug den, and seize your motherfucking house. You don't think that's a little bit more worrying than cops shooting people shooting at them? But to tie everything back together and sort of end this video, and to realize why I'm talking about guns and cops, is part of the reason why we have a problem with cops escalating force in situations and using force on people is here in America, the cops have to operate every single day of their lives, every single second they spend on their job, with the presumption that whoever they're dealing with is armed to the fucking teeth. Because a lot of them are. And cops get shot all the fucking time. But we don't talk about that either, do we? We sensationalize and idealize all these issues. If I were able to start my own utopian society, would the Second Amendment be on the table? Would everybody have the right to bear arms? Fuck no! People don't get shot in a society where people don't have guns. Now, can we operate under that presumption or that ideal here in America? No, everybody's got fucking guns. Can you operate with the solution that nobody can have guns anymore? No. You want to go fucking take the guns from them? Do you want to deal with that? No. Do you think any politician in America right now wants to deal with that? No. And by the way, one of the strongest lobbies in America, probably not the strongest, but one of them is the gun rights lobby. The NRA, okay? They got that shit on lockdown. Your First Amendment rights under immediate threat. Your right to habeas corpus, your right to be, present at your trial and to be treated as an American citizen with all the same rights as everybody else, under threat. Your right to be protected against unlawful search and seizure and frivolous scrutiny from the police, under immediate fucking threat. Your right to bear arms, safe and sound, motherfucker. So, to point the finger at the people I'm supposedly on the side of, a lot of these people think they're going to have to worry about fucking going to war with their own government. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay? That's a fantasy. It could happen. It can happen. It has happened, as my friend Vernaculus has reminded me. He probably wouldn't call himself my friend, so excuse the phrase. It's never going to happen. Not any time in the foreseeable future. I'd bet my life on it not happening in a century. Nobody's coming for your guns. Why? Because that would be a ridiculously expensive, both in time, money, resources, lives, fucking control order, peace, and blood. Okay? It would suck to try to take guns away from people. So it's an unworkable solution against guns. Okay? So you have to operate as if everybody has guns. If you want to protect yourself, and if you're in a place where you should be worrying about self-defense, maybe you should fucking own a gun. And if you own a gun, you should know how to use it. And just to piss off the pro-gun people, towards the end of this, I personally think that if you own a gun, the entire country should have a uniform and federal law saying you have to be trained to use the gun, you have to go through some classes, you have to have a permit that you have to re-up, and you should be on a register. I just scared the shit out of all those pro-gun people. All those people who think they're going to have to go to guerrilla warfare with the motherfucking government. Put me on a list, that's draconian. Fucking 1984, shut your fucking mouth, okay? It's a gun. It's a big fucking deal. And if you are this trained and responsible and proud and fucking, you should have a gun, you know how to use it, then what do you have to be afraid of? Because again, you think they're all going to come for your guns. No, they're fucking not, okay? Video's gone on long enough, okay? I hate cops, but at the end of the day, I sympathize with their fucking plight, okay? They have to fear being shot. They get shot all the fucking time, okay? But I also fear them, because if I see a cop, it ain't to my fucking benefit. And if I'm in a situation where my life is in danger, I'm not expecting the cops to come from the fucking sky like Superman. I know I got to worry about myself, okay? So maybe I should own a gun. And I also think about ways to not put myself in those problems. But I've run into cops tons of times. I've stared down the fucking barrel of cops' guns. You know, I have. 5 times. Sucks. But I haven't been shot because I know how to deal with that. I've dealt with fucking dangerous people. Thankfully, I've known how to deal with that. But, you know, robbery, home invasion, rape, murder, being mugged, you're going to be facing a gun. The cop, if he's going to be worrying about a belligerent suspect or a violent suspect, you got to worry about a gun. So, the pragmatist has to think about the situation where guns are everywhere. And when you're dealing with a cop, you should be treating the cop as a threat as well. Now, and the cop is not somebody you resist. You fucking comply, and if the cop is cheating with you, get a lawyer, okay? Because if you don't give the reason the cop to put his hands on you, he won't. If you don't give the cop a reason to shoot, he probably won't. So you look at the cop situation. A lot of times the people against the cops are talking shit, but at the end of the day, sometimes the cops are a problem. You look at the gun control thing. At the end of the day, a lot of the time when the gun control people are talking, they're talking bullshit. But guns are a problem. So you find yourself pissing off everybody, but you also find yourself keeping it real. Thanks for watching.